Steve Harvey's radio co-host, Shirley Strawberry, was allegedly caught talking about Steve and his wife, Marjorie, in a leaked phone conversation with their incarcerated partner, Ernesto Williams. Now, during the alleged conversation, Shirley makes claims about the couple's lavish house that she had the opportunity to see. Now, when Ernesto asked if Marjorie was there, Shirley replied, "No, she's not there. If she was there, we probably wouldn't have been able to be all over the house. You know, he's scared of her." What do you think about Shirley's take on Steve and Marjorie? Funky, let's go to you first.
Well, first and foremost, this story sounds more scandalous than what it is. Shirley Strawberry did absolutely nothing wrong. I don't give a damn if it's your mama, your children, or your spouse. We all have private conversation about people that we know and love when we think the conversation is going to stay private. And I honestly think the true test of a friend is when you get a glimpse of what they say when you're not around listening. On that phone call, she could have called Marjorie all types of bitches. She could have been saying, "I hate working for this big mustache MFer." And she said none of those things. And she was, under the shroud of privacy. She simply said, "Child, no, we was scrambling all over that lady house, knowing damn well we wasn't supposed to be. And because she was not there, Steve was allowed to let us do it." Now, did Steve and Marjorie hearing Shirley's sentiments sting a little? Sure it did. But you know what they did the minute they heard their comments? They sat on the edge of their bed and they talked about Shirley and her man like a dog to each other. We all do it. All right. So she did nothing wrong. She had nothing to apologize for, but I'm glad that she did do what was necessary to salvage the working relationship, per se.
And she has since issued an apology, and she looked very, very embarrassed. Al, what do you think about this story?
I listened to her apology. I thought it was sincere. I think Marjorie was right. Marjorie was right. You can't be mad at Marjorie because she was right. She didn't want your criminal having ass with your ex, his criminal having ass going through her house. And I don't blame her. I don't want criminals slipping through my house. I don't want criminals around me on a regular basis. I just, Marjorie was right, and she was protecting her husband. So I don't feel no kind of way about her talking about Marjorie. Now, what I do see and what I will say is this. I'm surprised that woman still got a job, okay? Because if I was Steve Harvey, I'm not sure that I would have the wherewithal to keep her employed. A, after you threw us all into the scandal, and B, after you throw us all in this scandal and we're trying to recover, now this is going to surface that you're talking shit about me. Take my word right here, soulmates. We're going to see a transition coming up soon. And remember, I told you this here. She will have her own show shortly, and it may be EP'd by Steve Harvey, or Steve Harvey's going to help her get her own show on a different platform because he's going to start distancing himself away from Shirley Strawberry.
I'm not surprised she still has her job, but it's also for now. They've made good radio for a very, 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 very long time, and she's paid very well to laugh at his jokes and everything, and to kind of be a support system in that show. And listen, we've even had this situation here where we've talked shit about each other. Shit's gotten put on blast and we've had to work through it. Was it uncomfortable? Yes, it was. Did we get through it? Yeah, it was. And actually there's a argument to be made that you can actually be a little bit better on the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? And the stakes are much lower here with what we're getting paid. I mean, it's cute, but it ain't Steve Harvey money. You know what I'm saying? So I could see, and I agree with you, Funky. Both of you actually. Yeah, it's going to feel like the initial knee-jerk reaction, "Oh, the bitch talking shit, I'm your boss," right? But when you really listen to it, I thought there was so many times it could have gone so much more left, because I felt like, did y'all feel like the husband was kind of trying to get her to say more? It felt like he was
like, because I was like, did she look old? And that's what I'm saying, how you know she's a good friend. Because that was Shirley's opportunity. Nobody was watching to be like, "Yeah, Chad, she looked like she's smoking 6 packs of cigarettes and she looked haggard in the face." And her response was, "No, she looks good like she always does."
Y'all keep being nice. Y'all keep being nice. Steve Harvey going through some shit. Have y'all seen that man, his comments back to the people that's trying to drag him and his wife?
Oh, I saw him say a whole video about her.
No, but look, why you bullshit now? That's the real gag. See, I'm not about what people say. I always listen to what they don't say. She kept responding to, and I know Marjorie and Steve, y'all going through y'all own stuff. Yeah. She kept saying it. Yes. And here's what I deduce from that. When somebody is the victim of a rumor, you don't describe it as them going through something. You don't pay no attention to it. You just,
that's right.
whatever. But she kept saying, and I know y'all going through y'all stuff right now and have my stuff. And she kept saying it. There is some
Firestorm is
truth.
what she called it. Firestorm is what she called it.
There's some truth to there being some discord in the Steve Harvey household.
I mean, he went on and made a whole video today about how, you know, he was very defensive. Well, you know, he's been being attacked for her for the entire marriage. You know, people have been having their say about their relationship and how they got together. He broke down the whole timeline. On if y'all saw the video today, he broke down when they got together, when he actually didn't have all the markets he has now. He started with just 4 markets. He really credits her with helping him build it up because listen, we all know the rumors or the stories that have been said about Steve Harvey, his first wife, his other marriages, and then with Marjorie. So I'm sure he's sick of the shit, right? He's probably like, this did not help. The timing, I'll give you that, Al. The timing could not have been worse for this to come out. But don't you think Shirley Strawberry knows so much more than she could have said? If she was really a messy bitch, she could have made that conversation could have been way worse.
Yeah, but that wasn't talking to your spouse?
Right. She was trying, listen, she just trying to keep her job. Isn't she in her 70s? I'm not trying to be funny, but she's in her 70s. She's basically without anything. She says she's living with a friend now, right? She's living with a friend. She's trying to keep her job. She's trying to stay employed.
No, I'm saying like the conversation with her husband, like it could have been.
Oh, the husband.
You know I mean, don't you think she knows like way more tea than she could have said?
Yeah, but then my other question with that is, what you doing on the phone with your husband convicted of molesting little kids and animals? Like, why are you spending so much time on the phone with him? Like, I don't know that I would put him on an email basis.
If my husband molested a child or screwed a cat or a dog, we would never speak again. Yeah. I don't care how heartbroken I was, but that's us. Okay.